Got a big fish here, guys.
It's going to be the biggest fish on the channel so far.
Yeah, oh, for sure. There's no doubt there. Absolutely no. Yeah. Oh, this is a nice fish, man. Here he comes. No. Still doesn't want to play. Life is good. Holy. Oh. That's it. No, I'm good. Boat! Let's go. Good girl. Okay. Good for a push off?
We are certainly good.
Fancy knot there, eh? Oh. Hey?
No.
So we're rigging?
We're gonna rig.
Okay. You know what? I didn't even have time to get my camera gear up and running, and this fish all of a sudden just hit the rigger. Welcome to NTS Adventures, everybody. I'm out here on the beautiful Lake Nipigon with my good brother Darren. He's captaining the boat today. He's a good friend of mine. Truthfully, probably one of the best anglers I know, so I'm very fortunate to be in here with him. But here we are, first fish of the day. We've been out here for half hour. You guys stay tuned. This should be a three-parter. Looking at about a half hour in each. It's going to be fun. Stick with us. We're going to have a great time.
He's off.
That's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. How big was he?
He got off. He got off.
Darren's hooked up. Third fish of the day. Been out here about an hour, maybe 90 minutes. Not going to screw it up this time. We're going to make sure the camera's going and we're actually going to land it. This is Darren Farrell, expert angler. Watch him multitask, folks. This is what a professional does. He's running this motor. He's looking at my line.
He's setting me up for failure.
He's looking at my net. He's got everything going, man. He's
not a big one, but definitely a fish. Well, I've been dragging on for 4 miles.
We got first glance. I'm gonna go in for a swipe-a-rooney here. He's good, he's good, he's good, he's good. There we go, brother. That's a beauty.
That's a beauty.
That's a beauty, yes sir. So we're into our, well, I will call it 2.5 fish.
2.5.
Two and a half fish. Anyway, this is another beautiful, oh, he's off.
That's why we use the barbless, right?
Yeah. Here, Darren, take that. I'll get a nice little shot of that. So that's probably what, an 8?
Yeah, about 9 pound laker. These are pretty standard, this one here. We get a lot this side, but these fish, we can get some absolute giants here too, but they're pretty standard fish if you want for taking and smoking. Like, this is the ones you want.
Why don't you just take the time to talk about the rules? We'll get a minute.
Some of the rules here at Lake Nipigon, just to keep things the way that they are, is we have to use a single barbless hook, whether that's a treble or a single side wash hook or something like that, and it has to be barbless. If you're the trebles, and they check religiously, they run their fingers on there, make sure it's done. And why they do that is when catching brook trout and stuff like that, their mouths are very delicate, and if you rip up their mouths, they're dead fish. They're not going to make it. So we kind of do it, and people say, oh, it's harder with barbless. Keep the tension on the rod, keep the rod tip up, and don't leave that slack so we can drop it. And
so what's the limits then? It's two
lake trout per person on the sport license.
Okay.
And you can only have one over 70 centimeters, or both of them can be low. Because what they're doing is they want you taking the big monsters all the time.
So one over 70 or
one
two
over
below.
70 or 2 below.
Perfect. That's awesome, man.
And the other thing about that, like if you do want you get a big monster, instead of killing that fish, get a replica.
Right.
You know, you take the measurements and put them back, or if you want to keep them, I don't begrudge anybody taking a fish if you want to take one home and get
sound advice from a brother.
Yeah. And for the speckled trout, which this lake is absolutely famous for, monster brookie coaster. It's greater than, you can have one fish over 22 inches.
Okay.
Above 22 inches, and once again, if you do, I've caught like 24, 25 inch, they're monster, 8-9 pound brook trout. Like,
awesome.
Not too many places in the world you can catch them
for sure,
and drive to it without flying in a mile. So,
exactly.
Yeah, this and you fish them just like smallmouth bass.
Right.
Like, think about smallies, like that's shoals. But spinners, spoons, that sort of thing for the brook trout. Or jig flies, anything that resembles that.
That's awesome, man. So this is another beauty. We're gonna keep him.
We're gonna keep him. And
so the other rule is we gotta euthanize this fish, and we're not allowed to put them in the live well. And I think Darren's explained why.
Yep.
But anyway, he is no longer with us. He's gone to Spazville. We're gonna hook him up on the. Oh yeah, now we're going to go through the bleeding process here.
Just this V notch here, there's a big artery that runs up there. If you cut that across like that, you already see the blood starting to come out like that.
Now, is that you do that for your walleye too? I hear a lot of guys are doing that for walleye.
We do it for all our fish.
Oh, you do,
it from a perch to a salmon.
Really, eh?
Oh, yeah.
And it makes that much of a difference?
Well, you see all the blood that comes out now?
Yeah.
I know it's a little graphic for people, but...
I don't know. Then don't watch the channel.
Yeah, but don't watch the channel. We're not exactly, we're kind of a rough crew here. We don't really... So we just put them in the net there and just hold them in there for a bit, and you'll see the blood just pouring out of them. And that will improve the taste of your meat like you've never seen before. It's really something.
So it doesn't take long then, eh, Darren?
Oh, no. Yeah, just a couple of things, and like you see the blood just pours out of them, man.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
So I wonder who discovered this, because you know, I've never heard of this until recent years. You know,
actually, a game warden friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, he turned me on to it, and I started to thought, that's kind of weird. But then I started doing it, and he didn't lie. That was the way it was. So yeah.
Perfect. Very cool.
It's good. There's a rope there, called right by the spoon box here.
Okay, so what I've done here is learn something new all the time. I guess this is something that's pretty common practice up here in this neck of the woods, is bleeding out. I've heard about it, I've never actually done it. So we've bled out this laker. we're going to put them on a stringer here, and we're going to let them stay cool all day because we just got out here and we got a lot more fishing to do. But there it is. That there's a really nice, probably 4, maybe 5 pound Lake Nipigon lake trout. Look at the colors on that thing, man. It's just beautiful. I hope the camera's picking that up, everybody. This is a great time. You know what? I can't believe this, man. I've been out here less than 10 minutes and the rod went up. I didn't have my camera gear set up. So apologize to all my 400 viewers for everything kind of been a little bit out of sequence here. But hey, I'll take that any day. Up here.
Yeah, just up.
All right, so am I doing anything wrong here? There's basically, that's it. There's no fucking smooth operation, right?
Well, there is. You can take the clicker. I usually keep the clicker on, but
okay.
That's because I'm usually deploying it while I'm on. So.
Deploying it. He's fucking deploying.
That was a good one.
Where?
Well, you can't flatline? Oh, yeah. Are you getting down there though? You had a couple behind your foot, yeah. That's why we're heading back down that way. Yep. Then we'll run to the reef and just flatline her.
What's Kevin and Mark doing over there? What are they doing over there, girl?
Funny.
It's okay, girl. That's Kevin and Mark. It's a Kevin and Mark, girl. Yeah, it's on, man. So Darren's hooked up. I'm gonna reel in as quick as I can here. Get my spoon in. Darren's gonna remain calm. Calm and collected. I'm gonna reach under here, grab this net. What side do you want to come on?
I'm gonna go on your side.
Okay.
Nobody knows really hooked that. I'm gonna know what I bet when I see that boat.
So we switched to long lining here. We're fishing a bit of a shoal slash reef. It's about 7 to 13 feet below the surface. And Darren made a conscious decision to pull in the balls and basically take a spin over top, and sure enough, it seems to have produced. We've only been doing it for 10 minutes and he probably has the nicest fish of the day on here. So we'll see if we can get a nice scoop for him. If I lose it, he'll throw me over, so that'll probably get me 1 million views. Yeah, nice.
Big legs with their funny, eh? They'll just...
Oh, that's a nice fish, dude. Oh, that's a nice fish, brother. Nope. No, I didn't want to touch. I didn't want a chance bumping him out there.
A little green, yeah.
Darren's got a really, really nice lake trout on here. From the looks of things, it's going to go 10 plus. He's going to turn his head. We're going to try one more time here. No, he's not done yet.
Not done yet. I did mention we got to have some decent gear up here. New drag. Yeah. Very important.
Nope. Nice, nice, man. The thing is, you got to be careful when you're doing this, folks, because these are barbless hooks, and so if you're on the net, you got to really You got to really stay focused, and you don't want to do it prematurely because that net could bump that hook out so easily and or scare the fish. So it's got to be a one swipe and done, and you got to try and scoop that head, because if you don't scoop that head, you're going to push them off for sure. There's a little bit of a skill to it here. Where's he going now? Going to the back again. Got a big fish here, guys.
It's going to be the biggest fish on the channel so far.
Yeah, oh, for sure. There's no doubt there. Absolutely no. Yeah. Oh, this is a nice fish, man. Here he comes. No. Still doesn't want to play. Can you move him this way a bit, Darren, do you think?
I'm going to try to go around the side.
Might be an easier scoop for me. Oh.
They fight so hard. They're just so... There you go. Oh, beautiful.
Beauty, man. Beauty.
Thanks for the big net.
Beauty. Beauty. Whew. It's always nerve-wracking, my friends, because you don't want to mess it up for a friend when they got a beautiful fish like that on. So when you get the scoop, and that was a tail scoop, but I made a command decision and it seemed to work out for us. But those are risky for those of you who are into lake trout angling, but sometimes you just got to do it, because we got to weigh out the you know, is it worth another run, or you're just gonna go for it and get them on. Pliers. Right here, I got. So this one's going probably 15, eh?
He's 15 easy.
Yeah.
15, 17 pounds.
Cool, man. That was a nice fish, brother. Nice. Anyway, there we are, folks. Lake Nipigon, South Bay.
Good girl.
For those of you who are interested, Maggie's having a good day out here too. We've gotten 3 fish. I've caught 1, lost 1, and Darren's landed 2. And by far the biggest fish of the day. So we'll keep her going here. We're having a great time and just shooting the breeze and catching up. I've known Darren for over 30 years, and I've been overseas with him, deployed, and we've done some things together, and it's nice to be out here and have that all behind us and just enjoying life.
Absolutely. They just live on that reef for most of June. And then if you want, after that, you get the afternoon water warms up, you go into the back creeks for the biggest pike you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 45, 50 inch fish.
Right, yeah.
Well, you caught some big ones in there.
Yeah. So you're saying, like, right now, these, because the water hasn't turned yet, these fish are where?
Yeah, the Lakers will usually after 50 degrees, but once again, Lake Nipigon never gets really warm because
right.
It's just a glacier lake. It just doesn't get warm. But
yeah.
About 50 degrees, you'll start getting them a little more flatlining. But we'll see what we can get on the reef today. I like it. I don't know. Sometimes they kind of work from here up to the reef. This is all just like a transition area, and that's
right.
where they do their feeding and all that. So it's you got to kind of. You'll get some on the reef all the time, but then I like to always be prepared for anything. The downriggers, like if you just come over here and think, oh, I'm going to flatline and the fish aren't there, you're screwed. Like,
so are you saying that there's going to be a time in the next week or 2 here that it's going to be exclusively long lining and flatlining?
No, that's another weird thing about here. We always get some on riggers, and you know, even if you're running usually you're running a ball at 30 feet, like usually for Lakers, you're usually a lot deeper most times. Eh?
Yeah.
That's not a normal. That's not a normal depth to run for Laker. That's more like a salmon depth. But here, because the water's so cold, they don't need to be, they don't need to be right on the, in that. There's no thermocline or something like that. We're not working thermoclines here. The water's all cold.
Right.
It stays cold,
right. Yeah.
So,
that was similar when I fished Great Slave Lake.
Yeah.
There was no thermocline.
Yeah, there's no thermocline. What we chase here more than anything up here, in Lake Superior or Lake Nipigon, is we're chasing bait.
Right.
Like where the bait is where the fish are.
Gotcha.
Whether it's salmon, lake trout, that's what we're dealing with more. We chase bait balls way more than we chase, temperature is very important too, but bait is the thing.
Right.
The smelts are going.
So when you find a bait ball on there, even though if you're not marking fish, you're going to stick on it?
Yeah, because they can be mixed right in there. They're slashing through them all the time.
Right.
They don't leave them much. Even if they're not feeding, they'll stay close to them and keep an eye on where they are, and then they'll come in. But what we've been catching a lot on the river, which has been really weird lately, is we've been catching lake trout full of crayfish.
Wow.
Yeah,
So they're just
cleaned
picking them up from the bottom.
throat the other day, and there was crayfish in it, stuff, like little crayfish.
Wow.
Which is kind of weird, but it makes the meat way better than eating the smell. It changes the taste of them completely.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That quickly?
Absolutely. See, there's a bait ball right there.
Really, eh?
See that big bait ball there?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Right.
That's a big bait ball there. They're just kind of, and it smells.
Right.
Yeah, there's a good one there. That's a good one.
Darren and I have been on the pattern here for lake trout for about 5, maybe 6 hours. We started off doing some down rigging. We had the balls down about 30 feet. We picked up a couple, and then we went off and did some long lining, and Darren got that really nice one there. Probably, based on our best assessment, close to 20 for those who care. We really don't. That's not the type of anglers we are, but anyway. So the wind's starting to pick up a bit here on the South Bay. Luckily it is a south wind, so we're not getting completely hammered, but it's getting to be about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so I think we're pretty satisfied. Mark and Kevin, they got their 4 lake trout, which is pretty cool, in a couple hours of fishing. And I got 2 here that I'm going to take. Darren's giving me one of his, and I got one, and of course there's that one I missed. So in other words, Darren and I, we got 4 fish, and they got 4 fish, so 8 lake trout in 4 to 5 hours of fishing. Pretty epic by anybody's standards. And so we might revisit this later this week. We'll see what the winds are doing, but for now we're going to head in shortly, and we're going to get up to maybe head into camp, and then this evening maybe we'll go out and do some walleye fishing. We'll see how she goes. Don't change the channel quite yet, because there's some good stuff coming. So that's the fish. And this is it.
So they make these rods up to like 8 feet up to 14 feet.
14.
Yeah, guys will use it and catch salmon.
Did you take a look at that rod?
Yeah, I just did.
That's so fucking cool.
Matt, this is called lazy filming. Lazy filming.
It's pretty cool when you review it, eh?
Oh.
To see where they go and how they go and what they look at.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I did one video with some of
Some
it.
water, Maggie?
Yeah,
Well, you got water. You just not going looking for it.
that I watch all the time. So we've been back off Lake Nipigon for a couple hours now. We basically decided to, well, we were originally going to go out into another lake that's close by here and do a little bit of walleye fishing for the walleye bite. But by the time we got back here and cleaned up those fish, and of course, you know, 1 or 2 pops may have been had by some of the boys, and it kind of basically just grounded us here, which is okay. We're just kind of hanging out in camp here and doing a little bit of catching up and whatnot. And well, tomorrow I think we're going to head out and we're going to try for some brook trout in the morning. Some bigger ones up at Split Rock, and then we're going to probably go do the walleye thing tomorrow evening. But for now, we're just kind of hanging out here, which is not... Well, today's adventure just might be a little bit serious, contradictory to the channel name, but that's okay. If we get in some really good brookies, it's going to be worth it.
Ooh,
Oh, he's a nice speck, buddy.
nice stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a beauty. Oh, there's a beauty.
No. We're heading up the Nipigon River, Split Rock. Darren's having a great time. His chiseled handsome face is perfectly beating the water off of his high feature. Life is good.